Hi, Mandy J here with another Funko Pop review, and right now we are going to be looking at all the incredible line, including the chase for this wave. It's just going to be focusing on the main wave. We'll have another video just for the exclusive and other products that are coming out. Right as of today, Box Lunch has these Funko Pops out for the most part, excluding I think three or so. But other than that, we do have at least the main family and Frozone, excluding Jack Jack. So here we can see that we have Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, and I also here have Mr. Transformers 96.
Oh yeah, so I'm very excited about the new Incredibles pops being shown. So yeah, gonna be talking about the figures. So first of all, Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible.
I do like the poses for these. I love Mrs. Incredible's hair, how it's kind of swished and everything kind of has the same feel as like in the movie, along with that kind of iconic pose for her too, kind of when she stops by a mirror and is looking at herself.
Yeah, hand on the hip really works well for her. Mr. Incredible I do think looks nice as well. Of course, the standard kind of heroic pose. What I do like though is the fact that his mask on the right side is moving up, like he's got an eyebrow up. I think that gives him some expression, which is nice, especially since Pops just have two dots and no mouth. So it is nice that they were able to like put some expression in that sculpt.
And I also like the fact that they have kept like her name as Elastigirl in this one because I think they're more focusing her as Elastigirl than Mrs. Incredible. So I do kind of like the fact that she's kept her original superhero identity.
Yeah, the new movie seems to be focusing heavily on her. Going down to the Violets, there's of course two versions. One's regular, one's the Chase. We have reviewed the regular version. If it's not posted already, it will be posted very soon. That's quite a nice pop itself. But then the Chase is just wonderful because having her be invisible is a completely logical version for the Chase to be. And we have seen it in person, and it looked pretty good. Unfortunately, we weren't able to purchase it, but it does look good. And I think as far as Chases go, that's definitely a perfect one.
I definitely think that this is one that if we get a chance, we are going to do our best to try and pick up one or try to purchase one online, just because we both agree that this Chase, it makes logical sense that she is invisible. I do like when Chases make sense and they're not just doing some weird variant like, oh, they glow. Like Yzma, she doesn't like ever glow in the movie or anything, but they just decided that was a logical glow for her. So I think that this one is definitely on the nose, really well done, and I would love to get my hands on one.
Yeah, this chase is perfect because it's very different. Like you get, there's a big difference in it. It's clearly a chase, and the chase makes sense itself, which is nice. Going over the two boys, of course, we have Dash and Jack Jack. There are several other Jack Jack figures. Again, we're making a separate video talking about the exclusives because all the other ones are exclusives, but the regular one is here where he's just sitting. He looks quite adorable, obviously not in scale with the rest of the pops because Jack Jack should be very small. But, Baby Groot, they do the same thing with, where they make them just slightly smaller, but not to scale. But it still works very nice, and I think if you have the whole family displayed together, Jack Jack would look a little weird, but on its own, Jack Jack would be nice.
I think Jack Jack looks great no matter what the scale is. It's just someone is very picky on scale. Anyway, enough of Jack Jack. We'll have more on him later. Right now we do have Dash beside him, and I love the pose. I like the eyes and how they're kind of like closed a bit, and that kind of pose of him coming out of running is neat as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's really nice. It screams his personality, and I love the fact that his eyes, are the half moons. The only thing that I could have preferred is him running in a similar stance to like Frozone in an action pose with some clear plastic like effects to be like the whooshing. I think that would have been. I would have probably preferred that. However, without doing that, they still did him quite nicely, and I'm pretty impressed. Going over Frozone and Screenslaver. Frozone, again, just like Violet, we have done a review on, so if that's not posted, it will be very soon. We both agree that that's quite a nice pop, especially in its pose.
I definitely think Frozone is the one to pick up out of the line for the most part. Like, if you're not going to pick them all up, Frozone, Violet, definitely the ones I would say to, like, look towards, just because I feel like it's the stance and the action poses that they have really give them a great feel to them and a good sense of motion, and I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, it's very nice. I think that out of the pops, it's really well designed. Screenslaver, I'm extremely excited for as the new main villain of this movie. I think that it would have been great had he had a chase with the swirl effect in his eyes, because obviously his whole thing is about hypnotizing people. That was expressed in the most recent trailer, and I have seen photos of him. The new poster has him on it with the swirl effect in his eyes, so I think that would have been a perfect chase, a real missed opportunity. But the figure itself does look very nice. I like the fact that his head is like tilted. I think that that's quite cool. And obviously, we haven't seen him yet in the movie itself, so we don't quite know his personality, but I do like the stance of the pop.
I also think we don't often see that kind of tilt head
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times. Like, we do see when the body is in a different position, things like that. But to have this head slightly tilted, I think does bring in some uniqueness and just kind of ends up adding just enough of a tweak to not really truly reveal too much about him without it being like any kind of spoiler. And then I'm sure maybe down the road we'll get different pops in him of him with different styles once we kind of know him as a audience, as like, you know, as the public. So
Yeah, that would be quite cool. But yeah, I do enjoy that slight stance to him. Like it's really nice so far, and it is unique. And then we have the Underminer. I'm excited for the Underminer. I remember when the first Incredibles came out, of course, the way it ended. I was, as a kid, really looking forward to the Underminer fight. And, of course, I had to wait like 12 years at this point. But we're finally going to get to see it. Underminer's a fun, goofy little villain. But I think that this pop looks very cool. It's obviously taken directly from the scene at the end of the movie, which will start on in this movie. But it's him, you know, talking in the microphone, expressing the fact that, you know, he's below everybody, and he's declaring war on peace and happiness.
and I do like the fact that they've done such a great job of making him look like a mole.
Yeah.
Like, it very much, like, you don't have to know what a mole looks like to sit there and go, he kind of looks like a mole. Just because, like, I don't know, I like the characteristics of him, the kind of cartooniness, the fact that you don't see his eyes and everything, I feel really works for him. So, I mean, this one's really fun. I know definitely Mr. Transformer is going to be picking this one up. But yeah, this line overall I think is really something we've been looking forward to as a public, kind of wanting these, needing these. And it's just a matter of time, and we finally got them. So I'm excited that we finally have these, and I'm really looking forward to the exclusives too.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Cannot wait to get these incredible pops. We have 2 already. We're hoping to get the chase. We plan to get the rest of the assortment as soon as they're released more readily, especially at Hot Topic. And we do want to hunt down the exclusives as well, which will be getting their own separate video. So stay tuned for that.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know where to leave them.
And thanks so much for watching.